Here we are. It's Monday, July 7th, 2025, and it's been one of those days. Let me check, see where we're at right now with my portfolio. Um, I haven't really done any trading today. Been kind of working on some more content for the channel, and seems like a good day to just kind of sit still, um, not do anything, not really get into anything yet. Things are down, or were earlier. Let's see where we're at now. Not too bad. Says I'm down about $2,000 right now, so that's not great. But could be worse, I suppose. Currently sitting at $119,100, and I have not made any trades today, as I mentioned. So that's what's going on. Yeah. So another Ask Me Anything session. Wondering how everybody's thinking about these tariffs that are coming. Maybe whether it's going to happen on Wednesday or just an announcement on Wednesday of what the rates are going to be, or um, what have you. I suppose we will find out. Uh, I've heard that the announcement may happen on Wednesday, and then that's July 9th, and then on August 1st or maybe later, we will have them implemented. I think I read something earlier that there are 25% tariffs going against Japan and a few other countries, and those are supposed to be implemented on August 1st. Um, so it's happening unless there's a deal that's reached prior to that. Um, Maybe this is just part of his strategy to, you know, scare the shit out of everybody, and then uh, negotiate a compromise from them to give them the 10% tariff rate. But I don't know. Trump's a different kind of guy. Let's just say that. Um, Glad he's not my president. Um, Not really a fan, but you know, uh, I'm trying to reserve judgment and trying to see how things go before saying that he's this or that. I don't like things going on with the migrants. Um, I don't think that's right, but I understand that immigration was a problem. So you know, I don't have a better solution other than sending them home, not sending them to alligator Alcatraz. But uh, anyways, that's a thing for another day, I suppose. Politics and business kind of intersect, what goes on in the White House, I think, has more impact on Canada than what happens in Ottawa, um, on jobs and on other things. So, yeah, I've been thinking about buying some more VSP or VDY ETFs. Um, haven't done it yet. I have some dividends that are going to be deposited to my account tomorrow. And when that happens, I will have a little bit more money to do something with. I'm currently sitting with a cash balance of around $12,000, and just haven't decided how to deploy it yet. Um, Waiting to see what kind of turbulence we might have on July 9th, if we have any. It might be an opportunity to pull the trigger. I don't know, but I'm waiting for that, and I don't want to be caught again with you know a great opportunity to buy stuff cheap and not have any cash available. So that's happened to me a couple of times. So being a little more cognizant of that. um, One thing that I'm looking into, or plan on looking into, is these weekly dividend ETFs. um, I believe they're mostly American, but uh, getting some cash for my parked cash would be wonderful if they're stable and they're better than putting the money in a money market fund. Because my bank broker would take a day to move money between the money market and my account, apparently. So um, that's my understanding of how National Bank does it, anyways. Whereas with one of those weekly ETFs, I just buy or sell it like a stock, and there's no delay between when the money hits my account and when I can use it for something else. So um, just something I'm considering. As you may gather, I don't have all the answers. I'm kind of like everybody else, just trying to get by and um, trying to see how things go. See if there's any new headlines. Oh, White House says 12 more countries will get trade letters. So they seem to be a little scant on details right now, but uh, it is what it is, I suppose. Trump's to levy a 25% tariff on Japan, South Korea in August. So that's coming August 1st. This is coming from Bloomberg. And at the open, stocks fell when Trump's tariffs plans uh, kind of made people nervous. But it's boosting the dollar. So we'll see. Um, how's Bitcoin right now? I keep an eye on Bitcoin because I found that it seems to be an indicator of risk appetite. Right now, Bitcoin's still sitting at $108,000, so people aren't panicking yet. But judging by things, they're um, not really buying right now either. As far as my options, looks like most of the underlying securities are down today, with the exception of AST Space Mobile. That's symbol ASTS. It's currently up about 0.5% to $45.83. Um, IonQ is up 1% to 44.85. Meta, we've got a little positive movement, 0.4% or 0.4% to $721.74. Pinterest is showing signs of life, a little tiny fractional bit. Just, I guess it's just oscillations, just jitters. It's up to 35.70 currently. Rocket Lab, as I mentioned in an earlier short, it seems that when Trump and Musk go at each other, have their public war of words. Rocket Lab, which is another launch and space manufacturer provider, um, they're up 7.25% right now to $38.25. Um, so Rocket Lab does well when Musk and Trump disagree. So I'm glad I have option for 2027 for that. And finally, SoFi Technology. That's a financial company in the States. They're at close to an all-time high right now, $19, jittering around there, which is up 2.3%. So not bad. D-Wave Quantum, which is one that I follow uh, fairly closely, is up to 16, or it's down to 16.49 right now, which is almost 2% off of where it started today. It's unfortunate, but right now I've got 4 calls that are way deep in the money on that. They're $2 calls, um, and they don't expire until January. And I'm struggling with the idea of whether to uh, exercise them and take the underlying stock, or just cash in the options. And the reason I struggle with that is I had 5 calls, and when the price of those options got to the point where I could recover all of my money that I had outlaid at first and then some, I did that. So I've got those 4 calls. They're paid for fully. But if I sell them, I get $8,000 in my account. And if I hold on to them, they could be worth more, or they could be worth less. It's a predicament. Intel is one that I've been following as well. I have a couple of calls that are good until January 2027 with that one. They're a $22 call, which is why my portfolio is down so much today. That's adding to the decline, I think. Um, Intel uh, is at 21.97 or 8 right now, down 2%. As far as what I've got that's doing the best and worst today, by loss, ARM is down $1,000, almost $944. Uh, Google or Alphabet, I have a call for Alphabet. It's down $200, and third largest decliner is a call for Apple, which is good until 2027. It's down by $161 right now. Best performers, which it's nice when things go up. As I suspected earlier, Rocket Lab, that one's gained $250. Meta is up 128, and SoFi is up $100. I don't believe I'm whole on the SoFi yet. No, I'm still down by $138 from what I paid. Rocket Lab, I've made 1,800 on that, and Meta, that one is up by 1,900. I did the same thing with Meta that I did with D-Wave or um, QBTS options. When the calls exceeded the value that I could get, um, I had 4 of them, and when 2 of them returned enough that I could recover all my money and then some, I sold them. So I've only got 2 calls left for Meta, and they are um, they're there, and they're profitable, and they're for $1,000 strike prices, so it's way out of the money right now. But at $720, considering Meta was at 500 not long ago, or yeah, 600, 500. It was pretty bad. Um, I suppose it's a possibility, but I may just sell to recover all the money before more bad news happens. I haven't decided yet. That's one thing that I struggle with, as you might have gathered, is when to sell. Um, I like recovering what I put out initially. So I had been buying options in pairs to at least sell one to recover all of the money if that was possible. But my risk appetite has gone down a little bit since my portfolio recovered to 100, close to $120,000, and I've been hesitant to put as much up um, in out of the money calls. So I wrestle with that, just don't know where to go, what to do. Um, I, like you, take advice and consider it and may act on it, may not. But I'm always listening, always paying attention to what the big experts talk about. And yeah, my RDSP is currently sitting at, let's see, National Bank has recently changed their web design, and it's made it very difficult for me as a person with low vision, because they've shrunk everything, and there's no way to boost the size of the text other than using Zoom on the web page on my mobile. RDSP currently, the RDSP is sitting at $116,256. Total portfolio right now is at 118,690. We'll see if it stays there at close. We're still um, half an hour away from getting there. No, sorry, an hour and a half. A little over an hour and a half. Just under an hour and 40 minutes. And then the close will happen, and we'll see where we end up the day. I suspect it's going to be down a little bit for me from Friday, and can't really do anything about that. Tomorrow's an exciting day, getting dividends, um, and I can decide what to do then. I've used ChatGPT to design a schedule of what to buy with my $150 that I deposit every month, and it came up with a neat list of how to rotate between the stocks that I don't have enough to automatically buy an additional one with the dividend reinvestment program automatically every month. Um, so I'm following that as someone who's somewhat aggressive. So it suggested that I buy the BITO uh, ETF. Um, that one is actually set up in a drip. So every month, the dividends that come in from that, if as long as they're sufficient, they will buy another share or two or however many with the 100 and something shares that I have of that, which is one less thing to think about. Um, the other dividend producing stock that I have, or ETFs rather, I don't have enough to buy a full share every month. Um, so, I may use some of my money to buy some more VDY, which is a Canadian dividend producing ETF. I may do that tomorrow. Haven't decided yet. All depends on which way the wind blows and how the markets are looking at the moment. Um, Sometimes I just buy, um, and then what they call dollar cost average. Try and instead of time the market, just buy on a certain day. Um, the problem that I run into sometimes is the dividend date changes, so I can't set up something automatically with the bank. Uh, it is what it is. Requires me to stay active. Well, looks like being as this is my second or third attempt at a live, I'm still not building enough of an audience here to get any chat going. So I'm gonna wrap it up for now, and this will substitute for the regular posts that I normally do with my end of day. Oh, I'm just reading a comment here from the DD channel. Thanks for your comment. 282,210 RDSPs active. Are considered active. You are doing very well compared to the average RDSP. So am I. The government released the RDSP figures for up to December 31st, 2023. There are 282,210 RDSPs active. RDSPs where benefit grade is under 59. Wow. In shot. So 10.29 billion in all those RDSPs. That's 36,000 per RDSP. Oof. I suppose as a, what they call an LDAP, lifetime disability access payment, I think, or a lifetime disability long-term disability assistance payment. When you withdraw that, that could help you with something at that age, 65. But you wouldn't withdraw that all at once. You'd do regular disbursements, I guess. It'll do something. I suppose help pay for some dog food, or in my case, a vet bill, if that's what I had. I suppose not everybody's doing as well as we are, and that's something to be thankful for. And that's part of why I'm doing this, is to try and share what's worked for me and what hasn't, and help others grow theirs. There's an awful lot of people that are caretakers of other people's RDSPs as well. My younger brother has an intellectual disability, and my dad looks after his account. Thankfully, John, my brother, has about 150 shares of NVIDIA right now, or had. I hope he's still got them, because I don't think NVIDIA is done. But I have encouraged him to get more index funds. Yeah, thanks for the info. Which works out to 30. Those RDSPs hold a total of 10.29. That's something. We could definitely, all benefit from being a little more savvy, I think. And as I say, I hope other people can learn from my mistakes and do the right thing. Even the $1,000 bond a year, the $1,000 bond a year over a lifetime should add up to enough to help somebody. And with the grants totaling, what is it, $70,000? I don't understand why the average is so low. I suppose there's a lot of people that are really young that have RDSPs as well, so that might explain part of it. I'm in my 40s, as I've said, 45, and I've been contributing since I was 34. So I'm behind some people, but the last few years have treated me well, so I can't complain. It's been good. We're at 2:30. We got an hour and a half to go to close. Let's see what's going on with the account. Safari.
National Bank Direct Brokerage. Suggest new pass, agree and close. Agree to our data prop. Enter your pass for client BNC cop sign in. Minus 2,878.54.
Can always hope for better, but plan for worse, I guess. On Liberation Day, my portfolio dropped, pretty rapidly. Following that, down to around $68,000, and leading up to that and after that, it was brutal. It was hard to stomach and hard to ride through. And it's because I got so much tied in options, as opposed to having just stock or index funds, and that's something that I'm working on correcting. But it's difficult to decide when to pull the trigger and get out and switch over to the ETFs. I like maintaining a cash buffer, just to be able to take advantage of things if the ability to do that arises, the occasion. So that's what I've been doing. Just curious, TD, how do you like dealing with TD? I've been a customer of National Bank for a while.
Hello, disabled investor.
Hello, Canadian gal. It's a nice thumbnail. Thank you. I'm experimenting and trying to do something new here.
Minus 23.95.
My hover text is talking, and it's probably being picked up by the mic, but it's what I have to deal with. This low vision thing is not fun, but we do what we have to do. I should probably get a pair of headphones. Prism Live? No, I haven't heard of that. I am currently using Chrome as a web browser with my Mac Mini, and webcam and microphone that I picked up on Amazon. It took me a while to save the money to buy all that stuff with ODSP being what it is, but I think it's fun. It's something different. How does Prism Live work? I'll have to check it out. Oh, that's wonderful. The lighting in here is okay. It's pretty noisy outside right now, so I had to close the window, but it's been good. How have you been?
Face red heart shade. Search moves. Great to see you live. Prism works really well too. Easy to believe. A lot of streamers use it, and I have a little experience with it too.
Oh, cool. Prism. Is it expensive, do you know?
Prism works really well too. Easy to go with. A lot of streamers.
Oh, free.
Experience with it too.
Free is my price range. I try and exhaust all free options before paying for anything. You know what I mean? It's frustrating sometimes because I've been using ChatGPT to help me write descriptions for the videos, and sometimes it says you've reached your limit, it's time to pay, and that's when I switched to Gemini. Because Google's not charging yet, but I'm sure they're using the data to serve me different ads.
Edit. Share screen. Canadian Gal Flag of Canada. It's free.
It's been interesting what's going on with the States. I find it concerning. Family's been asking, "Do you want to move to Australia?" I'm not going anywhere, but it does make people nervous. The rhetoric and stuff. I wish it would just calm down. Let's see, Prism.
3.95. Channel customization. YouTube channel customization. YouTube Studio selected. Disable https://client.bmc Google search. Prism Live Student Journey today for Live.
Interesting. Another piece of software to learn.
Finder. Google Chrome. Disabled investor channel customization. Disabled investor YouTube. Memory usage 100. Live streaming. YouTube address and search bar. Studio YouTube video here.
ETFs where they're supposed to manage everything for you. You know what? I don't know. I think it can work for some people, and I honestly I've owned passive ETFs where they're supposedly managing everything for you. I like buying ETFs that contain everything and there's no active manager because usually there's higher fees. Um, Better to buy stocks in a direct investing account. That's what I do, but honestly, I have no life, so I'm constantly on the phone or on the PC looking at or Mac looking at what's going on. If you have other things going on, an ETF is way easier, and the experts seem to agree that you can't beat the passive um, management of just owning an index fund. Uh, so that's where I'm going with my portfolio. Um, but everybody's different, like you can get much better returns with, yeah, mutual funds have high fees. Yeah, you're right. The fees for a managed ETF, they're usually not more than 1%. Mutual funds can be 2 or more, as I recall. I haven't owned any. Oh, that's not true. I own one mutual fund currently through my bank, my other bank, and its performance has been kind of lackluster. It's Scotiabank Tangerine, and it's been so. I don't like the fees, and they gave me a snotty letter when I went to withdraw money one time. Um, they said you shouldn't trade in this account, and that just was kind of a irritant. I don't know why I keep the account now that you mentioned mutual fund, but it's there. There's a couple of GICs there too. I try and keep a little uh, cash, um, but I'm learning from other financial advisors that these GICs are not worth having, um, and it's better to have like an ETF, even a managed ETF, like a bond ETF, uh, where it's liquid, and that's where I'm moving. Um, Currently, I have one managed ETF, I believe. It's a bond ETF that invests in the emerging markets. Hmm. Yeah, they're trying to soak up some fees, I think. Um, I did some research and I found out that TD and National Bank are currently the only ones that allow you to um, trade options. Yeah, I do have quite a mix of things right now. Um, it is what it is. Hey, Didi. Uh, you have to make sure you have the time available. Yeah, absolutely. When the markets are open, I know people that want to do it while they're asleep, and things do change very quickly. Um, you're right. If you want to just go on with your life and not do it, not deal with it, the ETF makes a lot of sense. No, you don't think about it in the beginning, Canadian gal. Um, RBC sounds like they're just trying to make some extra money. And I mean, at the same time, if I hit 60 and I want to preserve my money um, more than manage it actively, a bunch of GICs might be better. I don't know. But it's hard to think that that would be better because the average GIC currently is what, like 3.75%? That's terrible. That was one thing with the transfer fee. I got the transfer fee paid for by National Bank. They do that, or they did that when I did it. Um, and if you have more than $20,000 with them, there's no trading fees for regular stocks or ETFs. Um, so I did my research first. I gotta say they're pretty good, but they're a smaller bank, so service is a little lacking when it comes to dealing with them. Um, no, it was TD that I went from to National Bank. TD didn't give me a hard time, but the transfer took about 6 weeks, and it shouldn't have taken that long. And the reason it took that long was I had some active orders at TD that they wouldn't release the account until the orders were settled. So it was uh, it was frustrating. I believe if they said that it should have taken no more than 10 days, and I had what I had at the time. Had a couple of options. I think it was Activision when Microsoft was buying them, so I was hoping to cash in on that, and they forced me to sell it in order to move the account. Um, I could have just kept the option, but it was expiring in the near term, so I got rid of it. And at TD, it was I think it was $10 a trade plus option fees. If you do that, it gets very expensive if you're active. And I don't think you should have to pay a bank to buy their ETFs or their mutual funds. You know what I mean? Um, they're entitled to earn money for managing it, but trading an ETF that is owned by the bank just seems sleazy. They shouldn't do that. Transferring to National was definitely a savings. I average some months around 25 trades, so at $10 each, that's $250. That's too much. And if you do anything with U.S. Stocks, they charge you in U.S. funds, so it does add up. Just curious, what is everybody holding right now? Oh, 100 free trades. That's nice. But what are the fees after that, I wonder? I always hate the come on and then you find out what the real deal is. It doesn't take long to go through 100 trades if you're an active trader, or an active investor. Oh, that's okay. Which is that RBC you're talking about?
I don't know where to find that info, super newbie.
I know my parents bank with CIBC. They charge $10 a trade. I think Scotia is somewhere around 7 or 8, and RBC does have a direct brokerage, but they, as you said, they don't let you hold an RDSP in there. That's not good. Mm. Yeah, the mutual funds and GICs. That's one thing you want to be aware of is if they charge what they call, I believe it's a back end load or front end load on the mutual funds. If they charge you to sell them before a certain time. Yeah, you know what? Doing the direct investing with the TFSA is one way to kind of get your feet wet and not risk a lot of money. Um, yeah, I had no idea what I was doing 10 years ago either. It's part of why I'm doing this is to try and make it less painful for people that are getting started. And I'm not an analyst or advisor or anything like that. I can just tell you what I've done that's worked and what hasn't. Hmm. That makes a lot of sense, DD. I would I would like to get there eventually, where I believe that was something that I read in How Not to Invest was you know separating your accounts so that the risk stuff is separate from your long term. Oh well, I'm glad I spiked your interest. Yes, VT is an index ETF that invests in everything in the world, as I recall. Um, it's hard to go wrong with it. Uh, and the management fee is cheap. What was it, 0.07 or something, or 0.10? Um, yeah. The returns on GICs are terrible. My brother had, um, I think it was $12,000 deposited in an RDSP at RBC, something like 10 or 15 years ago. He was the first to get an RDSP in the family back in, I think, 2008. And he had it there for 4 years, and the 12,000 grew to uh, I think it was 13 in 4 or 5 years. It was horrible. So he transferred to TD, and my dad took over and did a lot to help him. Yes, VT is an ETF. It's a Vanguard total global stock market index fund, I believe. It is painful to watch, and when the experts say that inflation is like 4%, or you go to the grocery store and you see what prices are, um, getting 3.5% or whatever on a GIC is painful. Uh, hope your mutual funds are doing better than that at least. I think VT over the last 10 years was somewhere around 9 or 10% average annual return, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a little bit more. Do you recall, Dee? Yeah, it was reasonable. Actually, better than what they say is the long term average. I think the long term average is 8 or 9%. So, I think it outperformed the average, anyways. And Vanguard is renowned for doing, good things for people and having really low fees. Okay. Well, there's nothing that stops you from having more than one mutual fund. Uh, you could have a conservative and an aggressive type mutual fund, but you pay for it. The fees are higher. And I think it's a matter of pain tolerance. you know, can you stand to watch your portfolio drop? And having something more aggressive means sometimes it does. Let's see what's going on now. We're coming up to 3 o'clock. This is when trading time seems to um, happen. Yeah, I don't know if they would charge a fee for doing that, but you know, it's worth asking them at least, finding out. It's your money, or you know, you can access it one day, but it might be worth doing it. It might be worth just finding out. I mean, RBC knows what they're doing. Can't slam them for that. They're just they're making sure that your money is very very safe. And yeah, yes, a drop in your holdings, it hurts. Yeah, I think everybody wants the best, right? I mean, we're all we're all in the same boat, really. Um, we got to plan for our futures because who knows what disability is going to be in uh, well, for me, 20 years. I don't know what it'll be like at 65. Um, I did some research recently about how it changes when you turn 65. How do you start drawing on that? And they force you to start withdrawing some money every year, at least annually. But you want to make sure you got something to draw out when that's time, and you don't want it to affect um, your tax, which is something that we all have to consider when we start drawing on our RDSPs. We have to pay taxes on what is it, the grant portion, and it's either the grant or the bond portion, and what you draw out. So it's considered income when you start drawing it out. I've been called a smart ass. I don't know. Thank you. I think anybody who has to manage their own money has to, you know, learn by doing. Yeah, they tax everything. Interest is taxed at a certain rate too, or how we grow it is not taxed. It's when we start drawing it out, I believe. Um, yeah, it's scary to think about having to, do your taxes and pay every year. It's possible. It's possible we could grow to a point where they don't tax us, but I think with AI and the job losses that are thought to be happening with these tariffs, I'm thinking that we're going to see universal basic income come along before long. I hope we do. You know, I just hope it doesn't affect the disability. Uh, what am I trying to say? The disability health benefits. That's what I count on. And that prescription costs are so high. If I didn't have the prescription coverage, I don't know how I'd afford to do anything. Yes, the disability benefit was supposed to, like they were talking about making it so that it would supplement everybody up to at least $2,000 a month, as I recall. That was um, what they were going for, and of course, we end up with 200 a month, and poor people in Alberta get nothing. I mean, if they take it, it's clawed back on their regular disability check. It's wrong. Prescriptions should definitely be covered for all disabled people. Um, They should be covered for everybody. Yeah, Alberta. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. They just it's just mean. I think it's just mean. There's no reason for it. Uh, Probably. What was the last thing she did? Installed a new carpet somewhere. Got a kickback for it. I forget what happened. Probably buy a new car. Or fund or separatist fund. I don't know. That's something I don't understand. Is where would Alberta go if it's separated? It's landlocked. Yeah, and $200 is not needed. I think DD is in Alberta, if I'm not mistaken. Mm, yeah, it didn't do good for the Quebecois. Quebecers were treated kind of poorly after all of the separatist stuff was going on. I remember in the '90s how that was, and accusing them of being whiners and all sorts of things. But I guess that's been going on forever. My family's from Acadia originally. Before it became Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Oh, that would be nice. I mean, Rob Ford didn't um, claw it back, or Doug Ford didn't claw it back. So maybe Danielle will be kind for a change. Ah, Nova Scotia. My family's from Joggins. Well, my grandfather was from Joggins. Yeah, they should listen to the voters. I mean, the last time I was in Joggins, I don't know when I'll go back. I don't really know anybody there now, but um, Joggins was. I don't think it even had a gas station. It was so small. It's probably grown since. I was back there in 1996, I think. I think it had a liquor store though, so that all the important stuff was covered there. Yeah. So Nova Scotia, that means a lot of Alexander Keith's drinkers, right? It's cold here. It's what is it? It's something like 19, but it feels like 15. That's why I got to wear the long sleeve today. Hope you got air conditioning. Just gonna check and see what's going on. Dropped a little bit more. Uh, yeah, it is usually a little cooler in Nova Scotia. My brother's wife is from Newfoundland, around where the hell is it? Marysville. I'm sure you'll get our weather eventually. Mm. Last time I was in Nova Scotia, I think was a couple of years ago. We went. My dad was a long distance pilot truck driver, escorting wide loads, and we took something to a port uh, from Ontario through Quebec and down. And I remember the snowbanks being higher than the transport truck on the sides of the road. Incredible. Never seen so much snow piled up. Are you on the Bay of Fundy side or the other side? Mm. Halifax. Okay. I was there a long time ago as an air cadet. Uh, they flew us down for just to see things, and I think we went to an air base there and ended up touring a submarine. Shearwater, yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. And I visited, I believe it was Greenwood at one point. Saw where the auroras were kept. Climbing down those ladders in the submarines with your parade boots on was not fun. Very slippery. Yeah, well, we got to defend the coastline. I don't know if you've seen it, but we got a tour of Fortress of Louisbourg when I was younger. Um, that was incredible. They fired the cannon, and we ate like they ate. Um, no forks, just spoons for everything. Trying to eat a salad with spoon was fun, and the bread was a little dry without any butter on it. But the history and the reenactments and all that was pretty cool. I think they rebuilt the fortress as a make work project when the during the Depression when nobody had anything. Yeah, definitely worth the trips to see them. That's pretty cool. Did you save the live stream? That sounds pretty neat. Eventually, with this channel, it's my hope to build it up to a point where I can do some interviews and podcasts with people that are real experts on the subject. I'll have to check it out.
Navy 2. Lots of ships in the harbor. Oh yeah. Photo booth.
Silly. It was silly. Interesting. Yeah, I get that, and that's why I'm not worried about monetization at this point. Eventually that is a goal, um, but not the goal. The real purpose of this is to help others and myself. I try and stay accountable to myself by posting and keeping like a trade journal of what I've done. Uh, Lives, yeah, they're interesting, right? I mean, um, it's a different form of content, different kind of social networking, I think. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely, definitely better. And it's great to converse and meet new people and find out new things. I didn't realize RBC was so bad still with respect to how they allowed you to manage their funds. Hopefully, somebody from RBC will eventually come across this and uh, have a brainwave about improving their direct investing offering for people with disabilities. I mean, there's no reason for them to restrict you to just mutual funds and GICs, other than it's kind of self-serving for them. I think be interesting to talk to some real experts on the subject. Um, and someone who's had to start drawing on the RDSP. It's been around long enough that there's got to be people that are in their 60s now that are coming to the point of having to use it. And what's it been since '08? It came into being, I think. So there's got to be people in the last 17 years that are, now receiving it. Yeah, I think you're right. That it's possible though. It would be possible for them to segregate the money. Um, and this is something that I can't understand still is we're restricted to only having our RDSP in Canadian funds. Um, and I get dividends that are US dollars. So whenever that happens, I'm hit with exchange, and then I'm hit with exchange again when I buy US stocks. Um, I don't understand why they can't, put the grant and bond money directly into a GIC if that's what they want to do, um, and allow us to trade on the cash that we've deposited, our own money. Oh, it's so important to take advantage of the RDSP. Um, I took part in another podcast called uh, PWD Allies, um, and we were discussing all sorts of things. And you know, um, one guy was unable to get his doctor to sign off on the application for the disability tax credit, despite being on BC disability. His doctor wouldn't fill out the paperwork, and I thought that was just horseshit. It was terrible. Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to, I don't see any reason why we couldn't use our money to, you know, lend as a mortgage if there was enough, um, as long as it was backed and insured and that sort of thing. Probably more complicated than it needs to be, but our contribution should be up to us to disperse or trade or do whatever we want. I'd like it if we could borrow against it. Yeah, BC's different, I guess. Um, I've heard that there are a number of doctors. I know here in Ontario, there are a number of doctors now that are charging monthly fees to be their patient and to do things like medicine refill calls to the pharmacy and to fill out forms and that sort of thing. They're charging my aunt has one that's charging a monthly fee of $25 a month to to be her doctor. Essentially, it's wrong. I agree. Yeah, it should be. The DTC and the RDSP should be one and the same. As soon as you get your DTC, the RDSP should be open to. Um, well, I guess they still have to force you to decide where to open it, but you know, uh, yeah, the bonds are incredible. I'm just not looking forward to turning 49. I gotta accelerate my contributions now so that I maximize every penny that they're. Well, not that they make pennies anymore, but you know what I mean. I want to get everything that I'm owed or entitled to. I think everybody should. Um, there was a calculation somebody did one time about how much you have to contribute to maximize what you're entitled to, and it's not a whole lot of money if you can, manage your habits and things like that. I think it was something like $1,500 a year from the time you open your account at 18 to maximize your entitlements. Wow, Newfoundland's matching bonds? Huh. You know what I'd like to see one day is disability being harmonized across the country so that if you want to move provinces, you can do that without having to go through the process over again. Um, I mean, I don't know how that would work, but like a driver's license, it's good everywhere. Our disability check should be harmonized across the provinces, I think. My brother and his wife have talked about moving back to Newfoundland, but she needs critical care, and it's just so hard to find a doctor that there's just no way. And then there, it takes 3 months to qualify for Newfoundland's disability. That that's just not something they are able to do. Yeah, it is a beautiful place, but I guess there's not a hell of a lot to do, and jobs are scarce, and you know, uh, my brother's wife and my sister-in-law and her brother is moving his family back to Newfoundland and picking up roots and reestablishing there from here in Ontario. And I think it's kind of crazy because jobs and things are harder to find. But he's an electrician, so he should have no problem. There's no place like home, I guess. Yeah, how would that work if Alberta did separate? I mean, uh, they could get their way, I suppose, but if they did a referendum like Quebec did, I don't know that it would go the way they think it would. I think, especially if there's a downturn in oil prices and they're hit, they'll suddenly realize that oil isn't paying all the bills. If oil stayed below, what is it, $60 a barrel, I think that's enough to stall a lot of production there. I agree. I mean, I guess the only way it could happen is, what is it, North Dakota that's there? Um, they could join the state, I suppose. I don't know how that would work for highways and things. I think that would be uh, a real mess. Imagine checkpoints on the Trans Canada Highway. I don't think they really thought it through. Same with wanting to withdraw their pension contributions to the Canada Pension Plan. Just not thinking about all of the ramifications of that. And, you know, there's been downturns in oil since the contributions have happened. So I was watching something on CBC's about that was explaining just how complicated it would be for them to withdraw their CPP contributions and make their own. Yeah, I agree. They'll make a lot of noise in the meantime, though. Yeah, I think we saw the same one. It's nice now that we can watch CBC's news programs on YouTube. I'm glad because I can't afford cable. You know what I mean? Well, I could probably afford cable. I don't want to. I'd rather pay for Netflix. We're coming up to 328. The last half hour of trading is. I recall reading somewhere or hearing somewhere that the last half hour is the busiest. Yeah, they did a lot to help us. Bloomberg is also available on live ticker thing. That would be cool. I wonder if Prism would let me do that. Might have to pay for that. I don't know.
Red send party popper. Send 100 points symbol Canadian gal flag of Canada.
Oh, okay. I'll have to try that. It'll take some playing around. I've been experimenting with this, and it's been good. Prism Live. Okay. I'll check it out. I wonder if that's what someone else I know was using to cast their Zoom calls to YouTube. I got to find out. Yep, I've got the YouTube app on my phone. I've tried it. Um, it's okay, but eh, the vertical thing and the YouTube Shorts is growing. I don't know if it's there yet, though. I mean, TikTok is still the place to be for a lot of things. I think they ban everything that I post about finances, though. They call it a scam. Um, so that's why I don't do TikTok. Oh, my dog wants in. Oh, buddy. Come on. Finley. Finley. Finley's sleeping. He just growled to come in. I taught him to growl to go out. It's kind of cute. He's a golden doodle, so, you know, very ferocious. Dogs are the best. Is that a dog in your thumbnail? I can't really make it out.
Hi dudes on this channel. Yes, it has got you need a live ticker thingy on the screen. LOL. Hi dudes on this channel. Chat.
Okay. Horse jumping a fence. Wow. I used to enjoy riding horse. It's been a long time. Big dogs. Yeah, they are big dogs. One is a golden doodle. The other is a what is it called? A Saint Bernard. I was taught English style years and years ago. I'd probably be sore as hell if I tried it again. I'll do it again one day, but it's an expensive hobby. Oh, poodle, cool. Full size or like standard or miniature toy? Wow. Come here, Finley. Come here. Hey, buddy. Oh, you want out now. Finley, come here. Hey, bud. There he is. Hi. Want to come up? Oh, oh, sorry, buddy. I pinched his toe. I got to get a rolly chair.
Photo booth.
He's a good boy. Hey, buddy. Hey. No,
Canadian Gal Flag of Canada.
he is a great companion.
Anywhere.
Hey, buddy. Keeps me very calm. He's not demanding, other than wanting a lot of attention. He's a very good dog. So, do you keep a horse still? Yeah, definitely. Hey, bud. Yeah, my dog gives me a reason to get up. Oh, cool. I gotta find a place to get back into it. It's good exercise. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come here, buddy. Oh, you want to lay down? Okay. Yeah, I need a hobby. Do you just pay as you go, or how does that work?
You should.
Okay, I understand. So there are horses that are the horses trained to accommodate you? Sorry to hear that, by the way. I suppose I'd have to look for a group that supports low vision riders. Coaching, good for you. Okay, that makes sense. Huh. So it is possible. That's good to know. I used to enjoy scuba diving and skydiving and doing all that stuff. And with the vision, it's possible. It's just a little harder. I think the skydiving thing would be probably having to do what they call tandem, where you're attached to somebody else. And the scuba, well, you always dive with a buddy anyways, so it's possible. It's just they're both costly activities. There must be some groups around here like that. Do you drive? Costs and considerations, and there's a lot to it. I was driving up until about 4 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago. 2020, I stopped driving, and it's been hard. Um, Therapeutic riding, cool. It's it's a kick, kick in the nuts. Nothing I can really do about it, um, except learn to ride the bus. Actually, I get a free bus pass with my CNIB membership. Um, Most places accept it, except Toronto. Of course, Toronto has their own rules, but I just show my CNIB card and I get on the bus for free. Most of the time, I get a ride where I gotta go. Thankfully, I got my parents who help with a lot of things. I have to relearn how to do a lot of things with low vision. The CNIB for $10 gives you a little membership card that you can get on the bus. Yes, if your city has a decent transit system. Retinal detachment. Oh, mm. Yeah, it's hard for people that don't have family around. I lived in a place for a while that had no transit, no taxis, no transit, no way to get around whatsoever. It was rural, and yeah, you need a car, or actually, I knew people that had lost their licenses, so they were driving lawnmowers around. I don't know why they weren't stopped by the cops, to be honest. There was a guy that a boarder where I was living who rode a lawn tractor with a trailer on it, about 10 kilometers each way to the grocery store because there was nothing else around. It was funny to watch. I had a truck at the time, so um, I passed him on the road a number of times. Gave him a ride a couple of times. Oh, you might. ATVs are restricted in a lot of places, or side by sides, whatever you call them. But lawnmower, it's a lawnmower, right? I think you can walk faster than they move. Oh, yeah. Bikes, e-bikes, those are coming. If you can ride, it's a great way to get around, a city. I think the e-bikes have like a 50-kilometer range or better. Um, you can get by without a car if you can ride. And honestly, with I don't know what your disability pension's like there, but here it's just going up this month to 1,400 a month, and that's really not enough to support insurance, maintenance, and everything else. It just doesn't go far enough to support that and housing and all of it. Yeah, we should be allowed to ride a horse everywhere. Uh, I think, well, here we've got Mennonites. They're like the Amish. They ride horse and buggy everywhere for religious reasons. It's fun. It's actually kind of scary passing them on the street. You just don't know if the horse is going to spook. Yeah, it would be tough. I think the best way to become disabled, if there's a good way to become disabled, but the best way is if you're working somewhere and you're earning a decent salary, and you qualify for an employer's long-term disability plan. Um, a lot of those insurance plans pay way better. Uh, I think if I had to do over again, I'd spend less time being self-employed and more time corporate. Working for someone with the health benefits and all that stuff. And you don't plan on becoming disabled, but um, I know somebody who became disabled with anxiety working at a very decent job and owns a home and everything else because the long term disability settlement that they got covers all that. Yeah. I know somebody who's struggling right now and uh, constantly on, well, Twitter or X, is asking for mutual aid, asking for handout, like help. And it's hard to watch. Uh, I'd help if I could. Oh, it would be brutal to be without family, and I've seen it. I think a lot of people that are homeless. or unhoused, or whatever you're supposed to say now. The unhoused. Uh, I think a lot of them have disabilities and no support. Mm. Yeah, winter camping. I used to do it for fun as a cadet, but I couldn't imagine having to live that way. Um, there's got to be something that can be done, that's that's affordable for everybody. I'm hoping that this new government's going to do something. I mean, in Toronto, they built a bunch of condos that nobody wants to buy because they're so small. It would make sense for the government to buy these buildings and make them, you know, single unit residences. I think, but I don't think they'll do that. These are, I don't know if you've seen it on the news, but these are condos that people can't sell because they paid like $1 million for what they're calling dog crate condos. They're really small, um, and nobody wants them. They're so small that you can't even rent them to people. So why not turn them into affordable housing? It would make sense, you know. Uh, they were bought by investors that were speculating on the housing bubble, and a lot of them paid over $1 million for these condos, and now they're worth like $600,000 and $700,000. So, if they hold a mortgage on them, which most of them do, they're having to cough up the money, the difference, and it's ruining a lot of people. Yeah, Dee, I don't know what it's like in Alberta. I imagine housing is the same. Yeah, it doesn't need to be fancy. You just need four walls and a bed, um, hot plate, fridge, microwave. Yeah.
Do you have a channel 2DD? Close. Close. Do you have a channel?
Oh, got 10 minutes to go.
Channel 2DD.
Mm. Yeah, the housing market here in Barrie has slowed. People are taking a lot longer to sell their houses, and they're not getting what they used to. My brother and his wife, or my sister-in-law's brother, got $100,000 more than they were asking for their home, and those days I think are done for now. Okay, nice talking to you, Canadian gal. Yeah, check out that VT. It's it should be easy to buy. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. That's right. That's right. You know? And the problem is it's easy to buy and hard to sell when it's time. I find it hard to know when to let go. And there is a time. But the nice thing with VT is it owns everything and you don't have to worry about trends and cycles and all that other stuff. You just buy it. And when you need it, when you're older, it's there. Good way to save a little bit of money in a TFSA on the side, I think. Sounds good. Take care. Enjoy your dinner. We got 7 minutes to go to the close here. I'm down to 118.8. It's been one of those days. My portfolio is down right now almost 2%, and the S&P is down almost 1% at this point. I'm down more than the S&P is because I've got options that are, underwater right now, I guess. Take care. Take care. I think VTI is the same as VT, but it's in Canadian dollars, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. You end up paying more for the exchange rate and management, I believe, on that one too. No, VTI is US, so I'm thinking of the wrong one. I was wrong about that one. RDSP is down to 115,798 at the moment, according to Yahoo. And the worst performer for me today is ARM, an option with ARM. Down close to $1,000 today. But I'm not worried about it because it's still in the money. It's a $130 call for ARM, and it's worth right now 48 US, and yeah, it's a $130 strike, so it's still in the money. Just down a little today because of everything going on. I paid $3,600 for it, and it's worth $4,800. I think ARM is going to do well with the Project Stargate and the push to build more chips in America. Best performer today was Rocket Lab option. It's a call for $20 for the share, and yeah, it's up from what I paid. I paid $800 for it, and it's worth $2,290, $2,300 now. Knowing when to let go is the hard part. Yeah, it worked out okay. I got to decide if I actually want the underlying or if I'd rather have the money. You know what I mean? But I got almost 2 years to decide, so that's okay. If their new rocket does what it's supposed to do later on this year and it's successful, they'll be a real threat to SpaceX with heavier lift. Not quite as big as Starship, like they're not doing anything like that, but it should compete with their Falcon rocket, I believe, and able to lift heavier satellites. So, that's a big deal. I think with everything going on with Elon Musk and Trump, we're going to see some of his contracts move over to other launch providers. And hopefully Rocket Lab is one of them. Now, here we are at the close. How'd your day end up, DD? My real time says I'm at 119,700. So that's okay. That's as of 359.47. So let's refresh that. 118.9 as of 4. It might settle a little different in the next half hour, but not by much, I don't think. I'm thinking that Wednesday's still going to be a volatile day, and the rest of the month leading up to whatever the tariffs are going to be, it'll change with the headlines, I think. Hope I'm wrong, but I followed what you mentioned about the tariffs being suspended, and it looks like what I'm understanding is that they're just not going to implement them until the 1st of August. So anybody who qualifies for a 10% rate is going to find out, and anybody who's going to get higher than that, he's saying up to 70% on some things, some countries. So it's going to be hopefully not a repeat of early April, but could be. I think Liberation Day was about liberating people from their money. Yeah, it looks like it ended the day at 118,963, $118,963, which is down What is it? 1.8% today. Ouch. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, congratulations. You're still doing better than the average, and so am I. So we've got to bear that in mind. Could always be worse, right? Anyways. Oh, there's Finley. Hey, buddy. I'm going to sign off. Good talking. Nice having a chat. I think she's gone now, but we'll do this again. Nice talking to you, Dee Dee. I'll talk to you again. I think I might start doing something regular around 3:30 my time.
End stream.
Have a good one. Cheers.